Hello everyone and welcome to my channel today. I'm Melissa and today we are going to be making a very savory tomato gravy. What I have with me is chopped up tomatoes. I have 2 large tomatoes finely chopped up. I have a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. I have a 1/4 cup of whole milk. And I have a 1/4 cup, which is also 4 tablespoons of organic salted butter. And right here, I have 1 cup of chicken stock. Let's begin. What we're gonna do is we are gonna place the 2 large finely chopped tomatoes in a saucepan on medium heat with the 1 cup of chicken stock. And we're gonna bring it to a boil. After the mixture has boiled for about 20 minutes, we're going to turn it down to simmer. Turn it down to the lowest heat possible so that it can simmer while we start making our roux. Next, we're going to put in our butter into a saucepan on low to medium heat. We're going to allow the butter to completely melt. And we're going to wait for the bubbling to stop. Okay, now that the butter is completely melted, we're going to go ahead and add in the flour. The important part about making roux is that you don't overheat it. The final product should be the color of peanut butter and should not be too brown. Our roux is now a nice buttery brown color, similar to peanut butter. So now it's time to put the roux mixture into the tomato pot. Mix the roux in the tomato. The purpose of the roux is to thicken the mixture and to make it more savory. Make sure that the thickness of the roux is evenly mixed into the saucepan with the tomato and the chicken stock. Now, I had originally said that you can use about a 1/4 cup of milk. You can also use about 1/2 cup. So I'm actually going to add the extra milk. I'm going to add 1/2 cup instead of a 1/4 cup of milk. And I'm going to go ahead and stir it in. The milk is going to give it a creaminess. Notice how the entire mixture softens and becomes more consistent and uniform. This texture and consistency make it a wonderful gravy. Now I'm also going to add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Tomato paste will give it a richer color and it will also thicken the mixture even further. So here's 1 tablespoon and here's 2. I think that's enough. There's a little bit stuck to the spoon, but I think it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to whisk it in. And already you can see a richer color starting to emerge. Very nice, very rich, very savory, very thick. This is a wonderful gravy to put on top of butter biscuits, toast. anything you want to serve on the side. I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful menu item to add to pretty much anything. I think the best would be, you know, putting it on top of butter biscuits. That would be heavenly. As well as toast. Buttered toast would go really well with this. And this is really, look at this. This is very thick. This will stick to your ribs. Okay, so I'm still on a simmer setting, so that's a very low heat. That's the lowest heat possible. You really want to avoid having too high of a temperature at this point because you have a really thick mixture and you don't want it to scorch. So I'm just whisking everything in. You see how everything just blends so nicely, very thick. I can tell you that I can smell the butter in this. I mean, I haven't tasted it, but I can smell the really rich butter and the milk. I did use whole milk. You can use cream, you can use skim milk, whatever you prefer. And again, the recipe does call from anywhere from half to, or excuse me, from a quarter to half a cup of the milk or cream. So whatever your preference is, obviously. If you want it to be somewhat of a lighter gravy, you can use a skim milk, only half a cup, or you can use skim milk, quarter cup. But if you like richness like me, then you're going to want the whole milk or even a cream, like a half and half, and you can use anywhere from a quarter to half a cup of that. So this can really be whatever you want it to be. Okay, and we are just about done. We have all of our ingredients in. Now this is something that can be very delicious with some parsley if you want to dress it up a little bit. And I'm going to just add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. Again, personal preference. You can put whatever you want in there, but the salt and pepper will give it a little bit of dimension and a little bit of seasoning. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. This looks really, really nice. Really, really nice. And again, this can go with biscuits. This can go with toast. It can go with grits. Whatever you want to serve with it, it'll enhance any dish. Okay, and so here is our final product. This is a Southern tomato gravy, very buttery and savory, and I dressed it with a little bit of parsley. And this is a very traditional, very simple Southern homestyle recipe that you can pretty much have with anything. And so, like I mentioned earlier, biscuits, grits, toast, pretty much anything you want, buttered bread. This would be a really good addition to anything that you want to eat for your meal. And so this was actually recommended and requested by a friend of mine who had had some really good tomato gravy growing up as a girl that was served by her grandmother. And so I did a little bit of digging and found a really nice Southern homestyle recipe for it. So hopefully you try this one out and you enjoy. Until next time, bye for now.